Okay, my name's Craig Poole. Most of my life I lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've been in the hospitality business for 50 years this year. Well, I knew when I was in Pittsburgh, and we had a hotel, and someone said, will you come to Reading, PA? And I said no, because I didn't want to go to this hotel because I knew the history of the hotel that was broken. And I was the right person for it, but I didn't want to come to Reading until I read about Reading. And then when I understood that Reading was a marginalized community, it excited me. And so my wife and I thought, if we can come here and work in this hotel and get this hotel right and put this culture right and get it aligned right with the city, that we would be able to go and work inside the city and help make a difference for people that have been forgotten. Well, how do you use your business model for the good of the community? Just for good. So an example would be, I use my business to take in marginalized people. I say, look, I have a guy that's cooking. He's an omelet chef in the morning. His name's Raul. And Raul spent so many years in jail, has had a hard time, and he's still struggling through life. He cooks omelets for business people and children and mothers and sons and grandmas and grandpas. They don't know him. They don't know his life. They only know that he cooks omelets, and they love him. And they tell me every day how great Raul is and how good he is at cooking his food. So I tell a story about him, and I tell people that I hire Raul, and when he works here for me, just like everybody, I give them great food. Because great food isn't just meant for rich people, great food is meant for poor people. I tell them I give them a great atmosphere to work in, because great atmospheres just aren't for rich people, they're for poor people. I invite gang members into the restaurant. I brought 10 in not that long ago. They were all 15 to 18 years old. There was 10 of them. I invited them in because they don't have a dad. And I said, I'm gonna buy you dinner. And they came in and we had dinner. And I had flowers on the tables because flowers are meant for poor people and gang members. I had tablecloths and cloth napkins because cloth napkins and tablecloths are also meant not just for rich people, but for other people. I gave them steak and shrimp because I know they like steak and shrimp. And I gave them dessert, and they had waitress service, just like the real world, because they needed to see that. They needed to see that it's for them too. But the other side of the fence is, around them were other customers. And they needed to see that it's just not meant for them, it's meant for the marginalized people. And that is transforming for the children, but my eyes were watching the transformation of the people around there. I met Bruce in probably '85. Bruce saw what I was doing in my business. He recognized this as God's work and started coaching me. And I bring him here to teach me. Every so often he'll say, come to the city with me and walk to the city and let's go talk to people. I always want to do God's will, not my own. Because I have a different will a lot of times. My will was to go to the shore or Lake of the Ozarks or the Smoky Mountains. It was not to go to this. And I said, I'm never going to go to this hotel in Reading, PA, this DoubleTree, because it's not going to make it. You don't put a $63 million hotel, a Hilton product, in the middle of the hotel. Now I'm running it, and I'm excited. And God's right. This hotel's being blessed. And it's not only is it being blessed right now, but it's blessing the whole street.